Just a little spoiler warning, I will be discussing major plot points from the original Final Fantasy VII story and Part 1 of the remake. So I just want to have fun with my own wish list as well as some different theories of what happens next in Final Fantasy VII. Just lots of crazy ideas and thoughts because I can see this getting stupidly crazy. Like, this is all a dream that Sephiroth and Jenova are controlling. In the remake, Jenova is even called Jenova Dreamweaver. Or if not dreams, memories.
I will never be a memory.
We've just got our first sneak peek at the second part of the Final Fantasy VII remake, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. We also got confirmation that they're still planning this to be a 3-part trilogy, and after the crazy events at the end of Part 1, the director Tetsuya Nomura has confirmed that Rebirth will be an entirely new journey and, quote, a fresh new experience. The original Final Fantasy VII is my favourite game of all time, and while I've really enjoyed Part 1 of the remake, with some criticisms mind you, a new direction is kind of terrifying, and it's going to be really easy to mess this up, but I'm praying this is good. So the title of this next part is Rebirth. To me, this suggests the rebirth of Sephiroth, and that's as in the original Sephiroth who's dead or in a coma-like state crystallized in the Northern Crater. This is after he's butchered by Cloud and Zack in the true past events. I would predict that this Rebirth arc will cover Aerith's fate, the rebirth of Sephiroth, and the summoning of Meteor. And with Cloud gone, it seems like the perfect ending point for Part 2. It depends just how much things are going to be changed up with this fresh new experience. We do get a sneak peek of Zack surviving in what could be an alternative reality, and it's really hard to predict what that's going to mean. Multiverse storytelling gets very messy very quick. I do hope it's not an alternative reality, but I see it's hard to fit Zack into the current story otherwise. Also the title Rebirth could be referring to all the characters that are supposed to be dead, but with Fate itself defeated, they're still alive. Biggs, Wedge, Jesse, Zack, or maybe even Aerith's rebirth too. The core theme of this game could be all about these characters having a second chance, or rebirth. When it comes to Aerith's fate, my theory is she's not going to die at the City of the Ancients, but at a later date. In the remake, Sephiroth tells Cloud,
7 seconds till the end. Time enough for you, perhaps. But what will you do with it? Let's see.
Suggesting Cloud has 7 seconds to change the fate of something important. And a lot of fans have connected this to the original 7 seconds it took for Sephiroth to fall and kill Aerith. Sephiroth wants Cloud to save Aerith, and that's because a fully alive Aerith cannot stop Sephiroth's meteor, because in the original, it was only through her death she was able to influence the lifestream to stop the meteor. This ties in with 2 of the core themes of Final Fantasy VII, life and death. So for us to theoretically win, Sephiroth needs to fail his reunion and fail to obtain the Black Materia. These actions bring him back to life and allow him to summon Meteor. Bear in mind the game's title is Rebirth, and there is a meteor in the logo. You can't have a meteor in the logo and not in the game. Or, Aerith needs to be dead and in the lifestream, otherwise the meteor cannot be stopped and Sephiroth wins. But my theory already has holes in it. Sephiroth wants us to stop himself from killing Aerith? That doesn't make sense. Something doesn't add up yet, we're missing too many pieces of the puzzle. So we're no longer tied to the fate of the original game, and this is a fresh new journey and experience. But if you think about it, wouldn't we still have to travel through all the same locations in order on the world map to eventually reach the Northern Crater and Sephiroth? To break free of that route, we would have to find a ship or an airship early on to really steer from the original journey. On the same continent as Midgar is Junon, with its access to submarines, ships, and the Highwind airship. It's possible we could commandeer one of these vehicles early, but I personally would prefer if we stuck to the original story beats and locations. After Cloud retells his past, Square Enix could just throw everything out the window and this entire game could be Zack's completely new story, in the alternative reality where he survived, and he could take on a role similar to Cloud. I wonder if Sephiroth will be able to manipulate Zack similar to Cloud. They've both been infused and tested on with Jenova cells. Just something to think about. I think President Rufus is going to be a bit of an underdog. I think he's already done something big, because he can see the whispers in Remake Part 1. Whispers can only be seen when you've interacted with them, and the whispers only appear when someone is trying to change fate. If Rufus can already see the whispers, that means he's already done something big off screen to change his fate, but what could it be? I reckon when we return to and siege Midgar, which will probably be in part 3, I bet we face a much tougher Shinra, and while the developers played with the idea of more characters dying in the original Siege of Midgar, they didn't go through with it. There was just too much death, but I think this time, maybe good guys and girls will die. Could Professor Hojo also be involved even more? Can you imagine if this time Sephiroth finds out Hojo is his father? How is he going to react to that? Okay, getting a little bit ahead of myself with part 3 stuff, but this is why the remake trilogy is so exciting. All the potential with the story and being an FF7 fanatic. Wutai was completely optional in the original, but it's already been mentioned quite a lot in the story with ties to a larger Avalanche organization. I predict Wutai will have a much bigger role in Rebirth. What about if we get major flashbacks of the previous war between Shinra and Wutai? A young Yuffie, Zack and Sephiroth could be involved, maybe even a little cameo from the husband of Erev's adopted mother, who dies in the war. And with the Rebirth comes the opportunity for some updates to the gameplay, and after escaping Midgar, we'd normally reach the overworld map, and that's where I'd expect open world gameplay to come in. I hope the open world stuff is good and unique, and not just copy-paste events, fetch quests and objectives like so many other modern open world games. I'm looking forward to catching, riding, racing and maybe even breeding chocobos. FF7 was pretty fantastic for minigames. Fingers crossed they're good here, and they just gotta do a gold saucer. So the next major step in the journey would be Kalm, the little village just outside Midgar. In the original story, this is where Cloud would share his past with Sephiroth in Nibelheim. And it's confirmed we're getting to re-experience his retelling of his past in Rebirth. It's the only gameplay they've shown so far. And it seems like we're sticking with the original twist on Final Fantasy VII. Cloud's memories are messed up along with his identity. Discovering the truth behind Cloud's past is one of my most favourite moments of the original game, so really happy we're sticking to that plot. Maybe we'll see more of Jenova. Can you imagine if her shape-shifting abilities are used to take on the form of other people, other than Sephiroth? Maybe we already have a Jenova imposter in the story. Or how about we get flashbacks of when Jenova first arrived on the planet, and we get to see the battle between the Cetra and Jenova. There would be all the summons being used and insane magic. I'm really looking forward to meeting the rest of the FF7 crew, Vincent, Cait Sith, Cid, and properly integrating Yuffie into the crew. I do hope we get her recruitment scene recreated, where you had to convince her to join the party. If you gave her the wrong answers or checked your menus, etc., she'd just rob you and run away. All the white feathers in the Rebirth teaser to me suggest that Angeal from Crisis Core is watching over Zack. Maybe we'll see the weapons wake up with Sephiroth's Rebirth, but I expect we wouldn't deal with them until part 3. I want to explore characters more like the Turks or Tifa's mentor Zangan. There was art for him in the remake, but he wasn't in the actual game. It seems Biggs, Wedge and Jessie are still alive, but they're back at Midgar so we'll not actually see them. Unless Jessie gets her job role at the Gold Saucer as the lead performer. Maybe we could meet these guys again when we get to the Gold Saucer. Being Tetsuya Nomura is behind the Kingdom Hearts series, I think things could get completely crazy with the story. How about the original FF7 is the light world where Zack is now alive? The new FF7 is the dark world, a bit like their colour schemes. The 4 huge materia are actually the crystals of light in Final Fantasy VII, and the dark crystals in the new FF7. Red, blue, yellow, green, they all match up. And somehow using all the crystals together we are able to defeat Sephiroth, ascending into a god. Akin to early Final Fantasy games. Not likely, but I'm prepared for this story to get as stupid as this. Absolutely anything can happen from here. Everything I said could be completely wrong, and to be honest, that's one of the exciting parts of this new Final Fantasy VII trilogy. While I did want a one-to-one remake of the original game, Part 1 really surprised me, and as a Final Fantasy VII fan, I get to think up all these crazy theories, and it's kind of exciting. I just really hope Rebirth is good. That's it from me for now. Peace.